Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Adrodals Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be doing a full-down review on the STRV K. This is the Tier 10 Collector Swedish Medium Heavy Tank. It really is more of a medium, just with heavy tank hit points. I'll be breaking into its strengths, its weaknesses, and just about everything you need to know for this tank, whether you're going to be purchasing it or seeing it roll around on the battlefield. Now, in today's video, I'm not going to be talking about price tag, I'm simply just going to be reviewing the tank, as hopefully this video will become helpful for people in the future as well, not just part of the Blitz Fair. So, the STRV K, what is good, what is bad? Well, let's break into the stats and find out. The first thing is the gun, and the gun is a pretty defining characteristic on this vehicle. It features a 2.8 second aiming time, which is good, really good aiming time. Dispersion of 0.321, which is also pretty good. Its damage per minute, 3,419, really good. Reload time, 6 seconds. Wow, that's fast, because you'll realize that if we take a look at its alpha, this is where it becomes a little weird. It's the lowest damage per shot heavy in the game by far, at 350. That is quite a bit less than all of the other heavies out there. I mean, the concept is the next lowest, and that is at 380. So, yeah, it's pretty weird having such a low alpha on a heavy tank, but the fact that it's got really good DPM definitely makes up for that. Now, when it comes to the penetration, it's 326 on the APCR if you're running Cali, 310 if you're running Rammer. It's about 273-ish, I think, on AP. It's not good or bad pen, it's mid. What I'll say is that you're not going to be buttering through super heavies like the E100 turret, but the reason I'm running Rammer on this tank is because I feel like the penetration is already so bad that it really doesn't matter all too much. Gun depression-wise, 9 degrees, very good. When we take a look at the mobility, this tank has a power to weight of 20, featured by a top speed of 47 and a reverse of 16. It's got a great traverse speed of 40 degrees a second, and a pretty solid turret traverse of 38 degrees a second. We can see that the tank has the hull armor of a Kron, so if any of you have played the Kron, you know how the hull already is, and the turret armor of a Centurion 7-1. That's not good. It's a tier 9 medium turret on a tier 10 heavy. That means that the cheeks of this vehicle are basically easy penetrations. The roof of this tank, if you're loading heat, is going to butter straight through it. Yeah, that's a pretty big downside, so do keep that in mind. The STRV K has a huge downside when it comes to its armor profile. The Kron's hull is not very good unless you're hull down, and the mantlet on the tank is really good. However, it's just the fact that everything around the mantlet is super weak, so keep that in mind. The STRV K is not an absolutely busted vehicle. It's not a broken tank. I actually think Wargaming did a very good job releasing it, as I don't think there's really anything broken about the vehicle. I do have to say, though, I think the camo looks absolutely fantastic. It reminds me exactly of what I would think of a realistic Swedish camouflage in real life. Now, if we take a look at provisions, you can see I am running sandbags, as it increases my hit points by 138. I could run food, which would give me 45 more DPM, it would give me more view range, a little bit faster reload and stuff, but I really feel like it's not a big enough of a difference for me personally to run it, so I'm sticking with enhanced sandbags, grilled salmon, and fuel. And when it comes to my equipment loadout, Rammer, enhanced gun laying drive, V-stabs, vitality, we're running improved modules, followed by improved assembly, as this tank does not have a lot of hit points. Toolbox, we're running improved optics, and then engine accelerator as usual, and finishing off with consumable delivery system so that I can use my speed boost more often. This tank comes with a super speed boost, which means that you can go upwards of 52 kilometers per hour forward, and as well 26 in reverse. So super mobile tank. Also, I'm running adrenaline. So you can see I've got like the whole kit and caboodle when it comes to the loadout. So we've talked about its statistics, we've talked about its armor, and we talked about the whole loadout on the vehicle. Now let's actually get into some gameplay. We're going to start off with the second battle I played in this vehicle, which is on Winter Malinovka. We can see that the enemy team has a 30B, a 50B, an E100, an FV215B, an M48 Patton, a Type 71, and a WZ113 GFT. Now at this point in time, I was running calibrated shells on the tank. Actually, maybe I wasn't. I'm not sure. I think I was running Cali, though, on the vehicle. Either way, the tank's got really good DPM, whether you're running calibrated shells or not. What we're going to do is use Super Speed Boost, as you can see here, to take advantage of that mobility. Look at how fast this thing is. I mean, it's insane to see a heavy going upwards of 52, 53 kilometers per hour. You just don't expect to see that happening. And because of that, I can very easily see this tank becoming dominant on the medium sides. However, I don't believe that this tank is going to be very popular amongst a lot of users in the game. I would say after about a week or two, you're not going to see any of these rolling around in the battlefield. So, I'm going to start pushing up. We can see the 30B is right over here. We're going to aim it on the 30B. Hello, and kaboom. Alright, nice shot into the 30B. Little bit of a high roll at 370. I'll take it. Can't get another shell into him, and we can't get any shells out right now. That kind of sucks. Alright, well, let's see what we want to do here. Right now, we're just kind of chilling. We're chilling like ice cream. We got the Type 71 off to the side, 30B, and the thing about this vehicle is that you do not want to play over-aggressive. You want to play it like a medium. So, you don't over-aggress on a medium, you don't over-aggress in this vehicle. We're going to aim it on the side of the Type, get a nice overmatch into his tank, 770 damage dealt so far. Okay, not too bad. Got the U100 over here, and I can't get a shell into him, unfortunately. Type 71 still off to my side. Well, there's not much really to do. And this is definitely one of the things I've noticed about the Type, is that it finds a lot of situations where you're just like, what do I do here? Do I push? I don't have enough alpha. I mean, literally 3 shells from my tank equals just about 1 shell from an E100. So you don't really have the opportunity to just drive out into the open. We're only up to about 1,400 damage now, but we do have the Type 71. We're going to get 1 shell into his vehicle. I'm going to put on my adrenaline, and we're going to get a 2nd shell into his tank. Oh yeah! There you go, 2,200 damage dealt, and I don't think that guy enjoyed that all too much. Then we get a nice slap into the WZ-113. With that, now we're up to 2,596 damage. Okay, I mean, we're getting damage out. U100's off to the side, and yeah, I'm just going to go for him. I mean, he's probably going to pen me, but it doesn't really matter if he pens me or not, because I just need to use my superior DPM, get another nice pen into his tank, up to 3,300 damage dealt, and now we're going to load some premium shells right onto his hull. There you go. Nice premium shots. A very low roll at 280. I don't even think that's a low roll. I might be wrong. I think that's actually pretty close to average. It's just weird to have such a low average damage on a heavy of like 280. So, another nice shot into the U100, and with that, he is a gunner. 4,300 damage dealt, and uh-oh, that's not very fun. We got a big ol' E100 turn on our tank. I gotta scrape that off. Oh, it's so heavy. Well, we still managed to get a shell into the Patton, and we're almost gotten the turret shrugged off. Oh, but you can see just where the turret, just look at that, right on the roof. And by the way, that's an AP shell that WZ fired into me. Because of that one shell, our game is basically over. If we hadn't have been hit by that, I could have traded with that 50B, cleared him, and then also probably dealt with the Patton. We honestly could have won this game. But because of that WZ hitting me, unfortunately, we were cleared. 5,355 damage dealt. And all we have left is an AMX 30B, who is not going to win this battle as they reach 1,000 on the base cap. Even though this wasn't a victory, I think that this was a good game to showcase the strengths and weaknesses of the vehicle. It doesn't have a strong turret by any means. It doesn't have great alpha and great pushing potential, but it does have DPM. It's essentially just a glorified medium, which is a problem because you're a heavy. You're taking up a heavy slot. For example, if we look at the enemy team, they have 4 heavies. If you look at my team, we have 4 heavies. That means that if I drive this to medium side, it's 3 versus 4 heavies. And if our heavies die too fast and we don't push fast enough on the medium side, then we essentially lose. It's not like an E6 where you outtrade your opponents. I have the same DPM as a medium. I have similar penetration as a medium. And, well, really the only big advantage I would say is that I have maybe, yeah, more hit points. That's what it was. I mean, I can't say I have more turret armor, because while this thing has decent turret armor, I would much rather have a Patton turret on this thing. I'd much rather have an STB1 turret on this thing. It's not a bad tank at all, but it's just, it's a very situational tank. And what I will say is that if you're not a very good player, or you're newer to the game, you don't average 60s, I personally believe that this is definitely not the tank for you. Don't get me wrong. It's a good tank. It's a really good tank. And there's nothing wrong with being a newer or inexperienced player when it comes to your statistics or skill level. But playing a tank like this definitely requires a lot of skill. And it's just a very tricky vehicle. So, we can see, so far, I've gotten one nice pen out. Unfortunately, because of the standard pen being so poor, we couldn't even pen the 60 TP. Now, we get a nice bounce on our turret. Aiming in on the 60 again, and oh, it just hits the upper plate. So unfortunate. Alright, well, again, we got such a fast reload. You can see now I've got a 6.1 second reload because I'm running Rammer. So now we're running a lot more DPM. I know that my teammates are going to finish off that 60, so I go for a more important shot, I believe, into the Concept 1B. We're up to 1500 damage already, and you can see how the mobility on this vehicle allowed me to get just so aggressive early in this battle. I was able to use that super speed boost play far corner, and that's really what I think this tank is good at, is using that super speed boost, pushing the enemy off. That's really where it's going to do well. So up to 1700 damage now. We got the 57 heavy backing up. We're going to go for a nice shell into his track wheel, stopping him in place, and 2000 damage. Okay, let's keep on going, keep on going. I can't get a shell into that 57, but oh, look at that. Nice HE for 361. Unfortunately, that was a big ol' low roll. The HE average damage is 440, so yeah, but oh well. We're up to 2,780 damage dealt so far. Now we're going to put on super speed boost, and I'm going to go wide. I was thinking in this moment here, well, would I rather go frontally facing on towards the 2 and 5B grill or Minotauro, or would I rather flank and use the mobility on this tank? And that's what I've started doing in this vehicle, and that's why I've been doing pretty well in it now. So we get a nice shell. Never mind, we bounce the side of the 2 and 5B. Ah, yes, love this game. So we get a nice shell into the 2 and 5B, and we out-reload him very easily because of obviously how much DPM we have. So we get another nice shell into him, and then we're going to get another nice shell into him. There you go, 363 tap, and with that, the 2 and 5B is a goner. Unfortunately, the E100 just defeats the whole purpose of me having DPM, because sorry. A little tired, but he drives right in front of me and kind of blocks the shot. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna get the grill. Hello, Grilbo Baggins. We get a nice HE into his lower plate for 340. Then we're going to give him a little love tap for 17. And we're going to get another nice shell in for another 313. And with that, we're up to 4,512 damage dealt. And we finish him off with another nice shot. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the STRV K. It's a nice tank. It's a really nice tank. It's got a good gun, good mobility. The only thing that it suffers on is armor. It really does. But overall, I've been enjoying it. Definitely a bit of a rocky start when it came to the live stream. I averaged 3,200 average, which is okay. I'm going to try and increase it up to like 3,300, and the win rate really is the thing I'm trying to focus on right now. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.